3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
TNA Wrestling Show.
I mean, I've watched your show, your guys' show, you know, so it's nothing new to me.
This is Petey Williams' definition of Maple Leaf Muscle, and I need you to subscribe to Andre Colville on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Diana Hart. You're watching the Can-Am Wrestling Show with Big Ray and Andre Corbeil.
That's right.
What brings you to my house like Petey Kirby while I'm wearing my PJs?
This is Monsters BC, and you're watching the Can-Am Wrestling Show, a.k.a. formerly Brodus Clay the Funkasaurus, and you do know that.
It's me, Eric Hernandez, a.k.a. the Supermex, and you're watching the Can-Am Wrestling Show.
This is the effing machine, the Wolverine, Mr. GMSI himself, Brian Cage, here with Andre and Big Ray, and you're watching the Can-Am Wrestling Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Can-Am Wrestling Show, episode number 65. If you don't know who I am the Mark of the Masters, the man with a plan, Big Ray, here to stay to talk some wrestling today. And I am joined, as always, by my Can-Am brother from the north, my Canadian compadre. I call him the Canadian Destroyer. Yes, the one and only, on Twitter, Andre _Corbeil. Andre, it has been a long damn time since we've done this show. I am pumped and ready to go. Bang! Yeah, wow.
Chitty chitty bang bang.
So what's up, dude?
Yeah, long time no see.
Yeah, long time
the
no
fans
see.
have been asking and just bombarding the messages, when are we going to have a show? And thank God we can bring one back to them. And how often, we'll see. Big Ray has a crazy schedule, and I have a big crazy schedule as well.
Oh, yeah.
And both of us are almost, bled to the bone, but fingers to the bone kind of thing.
Close enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Close enough. I mean, I've been really, really, really working hard. I have a new job, guys. For you guys that don't know, then my phone went down, so I didn't have my phone for a few days, so I wasn't able to tweet and interact with people on Facebook and Twitter.
A few days.
Yeah.
A few days.
It was a few days. Shut up. So, basically,
I had to send a tweet at Big Ray Show on Twitter saying, "Hey, Big Ray, are you freaking alive?"
Yeah.
But
I am alive and well. I am actually, just a little personal information. We're working on trying to get DDP on this show. I can say that out loud because Bill After's already...
Finally let the cat out of the bag.
We're trying to get DDP Yoga. If you guys don't know, I've moved on to the second level of DDP Yoga's training. I am about 25 pounds from my first goal weight before I start to actually, really, really cut down a lot of weight. I've lost over 100 pounds.
Woo! Hashtag bang. And yeah, hopefully that comes to pass sooner than later, because there's other guests coming on the Can-Am Wrestling Show very soon. And I think next week just may be our next guest. And we're not going to let the cat out of the bag entirely, but I will say that he is indeed a member of Jeff Jarrett's Global Force Wrestling's roster. So there's a little hint to kind of tease you fans and get you excited for what's coming up. And hey, Ray just let a cat out of the bag too. Bang, DDP. Hopefully soon.
Yeah, hopefully very soon.
This is going to be a different formatted Can-Am Wrestling Show. We're not going to have the top 10 this week, fans, but it will indeed return soon. We're just going to cover the upcoming WWE pay-per-view in portion 1 of this program, and then cover, I'm just going to shortly say, a swirl of news surrounding New Japan and TNA Impact Wrestling, ROH, etc. So let's roll into anything else you want to add?
No, dude, there is actually a ton of professional wrestling news, but we're going to jump into the very first portion of the program, which is WWE Elimination Chamber 2014. Obviously, 2015. That's how long it's been since we've done this show.
Yeah, and Ray, looking at a 2014 episode of the Can-Am Wrestling Show, opposed to looking at one right now. Touche, you look great, my friend.
Thank you, brother.
Just wanted to get that out there before we spin in and dive into this prediction show and informative news program in part 2 as well. So, bang, bang, let's do it.
I just really want to quickly, to anyone out there that's struggling with weight issues, struggling with any type of deficiency, if you ever Google or YouTube DDP Yoga Inspiration, and you see that young man that actually went through all of what he went through to get to where he is today regarding overcoming obstacles, so on and so forth, guys, you can do it. Like I said, I've lost just about 100 pounds, really, really, really kicking ass, and taking names regarding, and I do it every single day. I want to give a shout out to you, Andre. I want to give a shout out to Bill Schuyler, my boy Billy Ray Valentine. It's been a while, and of course my lady. You guys know I talk about all the time, Jennifer Diaz. Follow her on Twitter at Jennifer L Lovely. She's fantastic. She's been a big support for me. Inspiration, I would actually say. She is my BFF. So thank you so much. And shut up. And of course
I like to rib ya.
And of course I want to send a blessing out to my son Aiden James that keeps me going every single day. So let's jump on WWE Elimination Chamber. We're going to start off with the WWE Tag Team Championship match. We have the New Day versus Cesaro. Now, the New Day, obviously the Tag Team Champions, versus Cesaro, Tyson Kidd versus Los Matadores, versus the Lucha Dragons, versus the Ascension, versus the Primetime Players, and obviously an Elimination Chamber match for the Tag Team Championship. Now, I'm going to give you my quick predictions. Again, we're going to run through this pay-per-view really quickly. We're not going to go so in depth unless it's necessary. But in this match, the New Day, I think, has done an excellent job as a heel tag team. They've done an excellent job as tag team champions. My only thing was that you have Luke Harper and Eric Rowan out there. I don't know why they're not in this tag team match. I don't know how the Los Matadores got into this tag team match. You have a lot of good up and coming tag teams. You could have put Sandow and what's this guy's name? Axel and Axel Mania in this match. They're relatively over right now, but they're not in this match. Now, my prediction for this match, the New Day have been great tag team champions, but right now I feel that the Primetime Players are extremely over. They never got their championship run back about 2 years ago when they were really, really over, doing the millions of dollars. So I am going to go with the Primetime Players to take the WWE Tag Team titles in this match, and I think this is going to be a great start to a pretty cool pay-per-view exclusive to WWE.com. Andre?
And now's the time for WWE to pick up that dropped beach ball within the Primetime Players, because that's who I'm going with as well, and they can absolutely rectify, as I said, dropping the ball earlier and actually booking this tag team in a more prominent role as WWE Tag Team Champions of the world. So, yeah, we're 1 for 1, Ray.
All right, so we're going to go with the same tag team. So we both have, at this point in juncture, we have the Primetime Players who are extremely over, winning this match and taking the titles. And I think it'll be a great feud between them and the New Day for some time to come. So now we
go back a couple episodes ago of the Can-Am Wrestling Show where Ray and I were talking about how the WWE Tag Team Championship would most likely be hot potatoed for a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're just trying to make every tag team within the division seem relevant, important, and more importantly, competitive. So that's what hot potato feuds are like, and I'm not one of those wrestling reporters or fans, for that matter, that are against hot potatoing certain titles as long as it's not done with every title.
I agree, and I love what the New Day is doing, so I don't mind them going back and forth, taking the title, maybe the next pay-per-view back. So now we're going to jump into a mid-card match where we have the up-and-coming Adrian Neville, or just Neville, the talent that Gravity forgot, or whatever the hell they call him when he comes out to the ring. Mighty Mouse, he's strong. He's strong. He's going to be facing...
I think we just dated ourselves.
I believe, my friend. Yes, Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas, at one point in juncture, one of the most over, wrestlers on the WWE roster. But since his injury, he's kind of fallen to the wayside. You know, I don't see Bo Dallas. I see Adrian Neville, and a really cool match. I mean, they've fought a couple of times in NXT. Really, really good matches. I think Adrian Neville goes over. Adrian Neville is really hot right now. WWE is really giving him a push, and pound for pound, possibly one of the strongest guys I've seen in the ring in a long, long time. Very, very exciting. So I see Adrian Neville going over Bo Dallas clean to win this match. Andre?
And wrestling fans, like Ray just said, he's got a rocket ship. He's very hot right now. I'll say he's got a rocket ship strapped to him. You can't really come in from NXT too much better or on a higher level or a competitive level as Adrian Neville has. And there's no point in stopping this push featuring Adrian Neville now. So he goes over at Extreme Rules.
Yep.
Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber.
I almost said, well, I did say Extreme Rules.
Yeah, close enough, brother. It's fine. I mean, all these pay-per-views, I get mixed up now. So now we have the WWE Divas title. We have Nikki Bella versus Paige versus Naomi. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to quickly give my opinion on this match, and I think it is Naomi's turn. I think Naomi will finally take the Divas title. Again, she is someone else, again, who the WWE is pushing, and it'll be great to see a prominent female black Divas champion. We haven't had one in a long, long time, and when I say prominent, I'm saying someone who's going to be, I mean, she's a superstar. She's on television all the time doing the Divas show. Very popular, very over. I love her heel turn. I'm a big fan of her as a heel. I love the fact that now she's teaming with Tamina Snuka. She's got you know she's got the muscle behind her, so on and so forth. And I don't think it's too long before Tamina actually turns on her to try to take that title. But for some time now, I think it's going to be Naomi and Paige feuding. I think Nikki Bella goes on to do something else, and Nikki Bella's held that championship actually pretty well. And Nikki Bella will lose, getting pinned by. I think Nikki Bella takes the pin, and Naomi goes over to be the new Divas champion. My friend.
Two words that Ray had in his presentation were prominent and pushed. She has gotten an improved push from WWE, and mixing her in with Tamina Snuka, which is only a natural to have them split down the road. But Ray, he's got the binoculars looking way down. I think it'll be at least a few more months before any of that starts to stir up or signs come to the surface pertaining and relating to the newly formed alliance. But Nikki Bella has been pushed to the moon by WWE, and I do think she's prominent enough still. She's relevant enough still, and I think it's too soon to drop that title. That girl is money. Whether you like her or not, that girl is money, and she just seems to be looking in better and better and better shape all of the time. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And with Nikki Bella, like I said, if you don't like her, or if you like her, the fact of the matter, and the bottom line is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Nikki Bella ain't broke, and she certainly doesn't need to be fixed. So Andre Corbeil is picking Nikki Bella to go over at Elimination Chamber.
Okay, very cool. But I do see Tamina Snuka getting involved in this match. That's why I felt
Naomi would go over. Maybe almost turning the tide real close.
Okay. All right.
To a title change, but maybe they want to drag it out.
Okay, very cool. Now, Andre, so then you picked Nikki Bella. I got Naomi actually taking the Divas title.
Hey, you see this, Ray?
Yeah.
You can look, but you
can't touch.
Oh yeah, now that's wit. That's wit, brother.
All right, very good. All right, well, we're gonna see what happens this Sunday, depending on when you're watching this video, at Elimination Chamber. But I'm gonna stick with my pick. Now we're gonna move on to a match that's really interesting to me, and we have John Cena defending. I think he's defending the U.S. title. I'm not even clear on that. Versus Kevin Owens. Fight Owens. Fight. He's doing his Stu Hart.
No. No, I was actually thinking of Throw Mama from the Train, that mother.
Owen. Oh, I thought you... Because you do know that he named his child after Owen Hart, and he named his gimmick after Owen Hart. He has a lot of respect for Owen Hart. But
and haven't caught the interviews that I've done with Bret Hart, Diana Hart, and so many of the other Hart family members right here at OneWrestling.com. Search the feed for a bunch of great interviews from Bill Apter and find those not too far down. So take your time after this Can-Am Wrestling Show and check out the Bret Hart interview, the Kenny Omega interview, and the Hart family interview. I digress.
Really quickly, I want to jump in. One of my very favorite interviews I've seen Bill do in a really, really long time is the one with Jay Lethal.
Oh yeah, that was good. I like the Jushin Thunder Liger one where he's trying to tell him to point at the camera and he's only repeating what Bill's saying. He's like, "See you at the matches."
Dude.
In Japanese, Bill Apter goes in Japanese and he's like, "In Japanese." He's like, "Okay."
Dude, it's actually one of my favorite interviews. I love Jay Lethal. He's so freaking talented.
You'd really put it as one of your favorite Bill Apter interviews?
Mm-hmm. I really did.
So many wrestling fans, if you're new to OneWrestling.com.
Yeah, but I love it.
The extensive library of interviews and event coverage and wrestling news.
Oh, yeah.
Like it says on the tag, the banner, 24/7 wrestling news. And
absolutely.
I'd have to say one of my favorite Bill Apter interviews, it's not even a long one, Ray. It was shortly after Macho Man Randy Savage died in a diner with Wayne Ferris. And for wrestling fans that don't know who Wayne Ferris is, that's the Honky Tonk Man. And
really good interview, you're right.
Just really moved my heart, and it still does, even when I watch it once in a while, to think of Randy because he was my hero when I was a kid. Digress.
No, really cool. But we'll jump back into this match now. I just went back to WWE.com on my phone while we were talking just to make sure it doesn't clarify that this is for the title. So I don't think this is for the United States title, but I do think this is going to be one hell of a match between John Cena and Kevin Owens. I think it's going to be a beat 'em up. I think both guys are going to push each other to the limit. I think Kevin Owens is going to show who he is in the ring, that he is a 15-year veteran, as he corrected John Cena when John Cena tried to give him a little advice. But it's going to be tough. Since it's not for the U.S. title, I see Kevin Owens defeating John Cena in this match. If it were for the U.S. title, I would see Kevin Owens taking the U.S. title to NXT. That's how much I think Triple H has faith in Kevin Owens and who Kevin Owens is. So I'm going to pick Kevin Owens to go over John Cena in this match. Andre?
And Big Ray, Kevin Owens, for the fans that don't know, is booked on Raw all the way to SummerSlam. So I do believe he's going to win, and he'll be around on Monday nights for the viewers tuning into WWE Raw for quite some time, fans, as he's obviously going to be inked and booked some way, shape, or form into SummerSlam. So good for you, Kevin.
I got to give a shout out to my boy Jazzer Sean on Twitter.
Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy!
Oi, oi, oi! I gotta give it. He's been very worried about me, my friend, dude. I've just been really busy. So as I stated, you're actually one of the main reasons that guys like you and people on Twitter asking why I actually pushed myself to get on today with Andre, because I love you guys and I love doing this. So I want to make sure to take time out to do this with Andre, who's one of my closest friends and my confidant, my Can-Am brother from the north.
Compadre,
yes.
whatever.
Compadre, you can.
What is that? Is that Puerto Rican? Compadre?
Compadre. See, yeah, it works. It's Spanish. But who do you think goes over in this match between John Cena and Kevin Owens?
I said Kevin Owens.
You think Kevin Owens also goes over?
Yep. That way they can keep him implemented
okay.
Monday nights for quite some time. And who knows? Who knows what's going to happen or how often he'll be booked on NXT. He is the current NXT heavyweight champion, but we've seen other champions give up that title, relinquish it before, so that wouldn't entirely be out of the question, and I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but the fact of the matter and the highlight underline here is that he's booked all the way to SummerSlam on Monday Night Raws.
I'll be honest with you, man. I see a possibility of Samoa Joe showing up during this match. He may
to help him. Help him.
Either to help him or to disqualify. Maybe John Cena gets disqualified when Samoa Joe's going to win that NXT title. He's going to be the NXT champion. Kevin Owens is coming up to the main roster. So I don't know if they're going to be feuding.
That's a realistic assumption.
Yeah, I think that's where they're going with this, and I think that's why they're setting up the whole Kevin Owens Samoa Joe thing and the whole John Cena, because eventually I think in the next NXT pay-per-view, whatever the takeover is going to be, I think Kevin Owens will face Samoa Joe for the title. He'll drop the title to Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe will run with that title, and I want to talk a little bit about Samoa Joe later in the show, but I think Kevin Owens is going to go onto the main roster. I mean, he's already proven that he's got that in-ring skill. I enjoy his finisher. I think he does it well, his pop-up powerbomb. And I think it's all good, brother. So, Owens, fight.
I like and agree with that, Ray.
Very cool. Very cool, brother. So let's move on quickly because there's only 2 more matches to go. We have the Intercontinental Championship match, which is going to be interesting, and I'm gonna make a point of this really quickly. We have Sheamus versus R-Truth versus Rusev versus Dolph Ziggler versus Bod News Barrett versus Ryback for the Intercontinental Champion. As we know, Danny O'Brien, yes, actually dropped that title because of his injury. And speaking of injuries, reporting, I will definitely report if you guys don't know, there is an injury to Rusev. Andre, you want to say something?
Yeah, that was factored into my result, so I didn't. It's okay. It's okay. If
well,
you want
I have to say what I'm going to say here, in that Bray Wyatt apparently is going to be taking the spot of Rusev. So here's why I'm mentioning that. I thought Rusev would be the man to take the Intercontinental title, but since he's injured, I think they're going to finally put it on Bray Wyatt. And I think he's going to run with that title for some time. It's going to bring, again, legitimacy, importance to that title. Now, Sheamus is over. Everybody thinks it's going to be Sheamus. I think it's a little too obvious to slap it on Sheamus. I think you can put it on Rusev. I mean, you can put it on Rusev, you could put it on Bray Wyatt, or you can put it on Ryback right now. I think any one of those 3 guys would make a great IC champ. But right now, if Bray Wyatt is in that match, I see Bray Wyatt winning the Intercontinental title. If not, Rusev, Putria, Rusev, Machka. Rusev wins the title. Andre?
right-click on the mouse, copy, paste.
Oh, so same thing.
Oh yeah, Bray Wyatt's gonna win.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I guess we're gonna have to follow the buzzers all the way to that IC title.
It's he's the biggest star with the most relevancy right now to capture that title and run with it on a credible level.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so now the main event of the evening: Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. For the WWE Championship, and possibly one of the most predictable championship matches in the history of the WWE. I do not see in any way WWE giving the title to Dean Ambrose. I don't care how over he is with the fans. I don't care how popular he is with the kids. I don't care. Dean Ambrose will not win this title. He will put forth a good match with Seth Rollins. I think these guys are going to work very well together, but Seth Rollins will find a way again to hold on to that title. He will drop it possibly at SummerSlam, but I see Seth Rollins holding on to that title all the way to SummerSlam, and I see him dropping the title again to maybe Brock Lesnar if they can work something out with Brock. So Seth Rollins continues to hold on to the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and Dean Ambrose puts forth a good showing. Andre? What are you doing there, buddy?
Oh, hey, Ray. What are we talking about, bro?
We're talking about Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins?
I just said cut, copy, and paste a couple minutes ago, right?
Oh.
Now, this wrestling match, fans, is another cut, copy, and paste main event match that has been done before. I have no interest in it whatsoever. The predictability factor is so to the roof that it's almost through the roof at my place here. And I just have no interest rolling into this because ultimately, at the end of the day, Seth Rollins is coming in the WWE champion, and he's leaving the WWE champion. Number 8, what was that? Was it 8 or 9 months that Dean Ambrose couldn't even pull off a darn win on the pay-per-view scale or level? So, Andre Corbeil, yes. The championship doesn't go anywhere, and the champion stays the champion, Seth Rollins. And as Ray said, that's the one thing I agree with here. He's gonna put up a great effort, a fighting effort, but it just won't be enough.
Well, I think it's going to be a fun match. Actually, you know what? For kind of like a spur of the moment pay-per-view that they just kind of threw together, I think it's actually going to be pretty good. I think it's going to be fun to watch. I like the fact that they're using the Elimination Chamber. It's for me, it's actually one of my favorite gimmick matches. I like it. I like the whole the guys in the pods. I like to you don't know who's going to come in next. I love the fact that they put the IC title in the chamber. And,
my favorite moment, Ray, is when Goldberg speared out the plate glass or plexiglass pod window or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
I thought that was an epic moment.
I agree with you. So now listen, we did some WWE, Andre. Now we're gonna jump into some
official
TNA news. Now sorry, I hit the button by mistake. I may play a little devil's advocate regarding TNA. I'm gonna be the bad guy here, if you don't mind.
You can say what you want.
Right, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically mirror what people are saying on Twitter, and I may agree with someone, I may disagree with you, Andre. I mean, just because we're close friends and when you're one of my best buddies doesn't mean I have to friggin' agree with every single thing that you say.
Ray,
but I won't disrespect.
Ray,
like some people.
Don't make me jump in the Cadillac. with the big black bat.
Andre's got
across the borders at the waterfalls.
Andre's got that new caddy, baby. Driving in style. What's the independent wrestling company that you work for again, Andre?
Real Canadian Wrestling, RCW Wrestling.
Yo, dude, Andre, listen, guys. I'm gonna put Andre in the spot. Andre is doing a fantastic job. I follow Andre. I see all the videos. He's one hell of a ring announcer. He's got a lot of charisma. He looks great up there, Andre. Dude, I'm very proud of you. I love the interviews. You know, I don't know if I'm going to put you on the spot right now, Andre. Me and Bill Apter were speaking about 3 days ago about you. Okay. I didn't tell you about that because and Bill Apter is so impressed with how much you've grown on this website, and he may have shared it with you, but I'm sharing it with all of you guys. And you are doing some great work for OneWrestling.com. I am excited to know that Andre Corbeil is covering independent wrestling and talking to some of the biggest stars in the world. You got to watch the Kenny Omega. Poor Kenny Omega freezing outside. It was freaking hilarious. Speaking to the hearts. You know, I mean, who was it? Rene Dupree that you spoke to sometime back. I had to edit that video out. It's a long story, but behind Andre was interviewing one of the wrestlers and somebody dropped trowel and I had to actually blur it out. And come here, Aiden. My son Aiden James is here. Aiden James, rise above the hate. Aiden James, are you a John? Who do you think's gonna win, Aiden? Is it gonna be John Cena or Kevin Owens? Who's gonna win the match?
John Cena.
John Cena. Where's John Cena from?
West Newbury, Massachusetts.
West Newbury, Massachusetts. I have my very handsome, good-looking son, Aiden James Hernandez here. Andre?
I'm surprised he kept his face on the camera this long. How you doing, little buddy?
He said, how you doing, buddy?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
Good. All right, get out of here.
The headlock. No. Before
you want to put me in a headlock? Oh, I'm going to show you guys something. Ready? Come here, Aiden. Well, hold on. Hold on.
Big Ray. Aiden comes in. Yes, they lock up, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he makes this move. He's got him in a lock. Big Ray's struggling. Oh, quick shot to the face. Repeated shots to the face. Oh, my God. Aiden is just rocking his father. Headbutt out of nowhere. Nice comeback by Big Ray, but Aiden is still getting fans.
Go, let me finish my show.
Contest here on the Can-Am Wrestling Show.
Hang out?
As father versus son go against each other in an epic battle, an epic clash of the ages, right here on the Can-Am Wrestling Show.
So I guess my son's gonna hang out with me a little bit as you talk a little TNA wrestling. So he just came out of his bath right now. So Andre Corbeil.
There's a lot that has been said over the past, we'll say 2 weeks, maybe even longer, pertaining and relating to Total Nonstop Action Wrestling. The length of their contract renewal, not cancellation, yada, 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 back and forth between executives, wrestling reporters, and fans in general that think they know everything under the sheets inside the private world of Total Nonstop Action Wrestling. As Dixie Carter held a conference call with the Impact Wrestling talent. And what she basically told them was that the company had been given no word on any issues at all from Destination America on the company, and that the fact is that TNA Impact Wrestling is indeed in good standing with Destination America. Now, there were a few Total Nonstop Action Impact Wrestling talents in this conference call and the chat that were upset on the handling of the situation by the president of TNA Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, Dixie Carter, where Dixie basically closed it off in a nutshell by saying that it was up to the roster ultimately to show the world why TNA is indeed and can be the best in the world. And that ultimately, at the end of the day, it's the roster and the talents within the confines of Impact Wrestling that control their own destiny. Now, play some devil's advocate, Ray, and I'm going to jump in after that and touch base on the rumors on Inside the Report pertaining and relating to advertising on Destination America for wrestling and the lack of it. So
all right, here we go. My thought process is, why would Destination America, my question to you is, why would Destination America sign ROH, which is a competing company with TNA Wrestling, putting them back to back? And technically, would you now say that maybe since ROH has television time, that they would be maybe they're the number 2 company in wrestling now? I mean, look at their roster. Look at TNA's roster. Look where they're going. Look where TNA's going. It looks like TNA is kind of going down on the downslope. Looks like ROH is finally going to break through that glass ceiling. Andre, do you think there's a possibility that ROH would possibly grow and maybe even absorb TNA, or vice versa?
Well, Ring of Honor's indeed going to profit from this or have an advantage from this. They're still on television at random times throughout the night, throughout the week on the Sinclair Broadcasting Network. And this new deal with Destination America gets Ring of Honor wrestling in the homes of a lot of American homes where it wasn't presented on television. And more importantly, on a time slot regularly every week where fans can get familiar with Ring of Honor wrestling. Now, I'm going to touch base on 2 factors, and these are extreme factors pertaining and relating to Ring of Honor wrestling. One is the production quality value it's somewhat shoddy, wrestling fans. And fans that haven't watched Ring of Honor, when you do introduce yourself to Ring of Honor Wrestling on Destination America, next week when it starts, you will see the production value glitches are plentiful. Now,
but Andre,
in-ring action is great, and I think a lot of Impact Wrestling fans will indeed enjoy the product that have never been introduced to Ring of Honor before. But at the same time, I think that there's going to be Ring of Honor fans that are diehard and loyal Ring of Honor fans that wouldn't have watched Impact Wrestling, which will follow Ring of Honor Wrestling right after, whether they like it or not, in a lot of cases, come the beginning. And this could be a great marriage of 2 competing organizations on the same network, creating a 3-hour block on Wednesday nights that is pure wrestling television. And these 3 hours, frankly, wrestling fans and Ray, I think are most likely going to be more exciting because of the variables and the differences within that 3-hour span opposed to Monday night's 3-hour spans. I think it's going to be a lot more enjoyable because of the variables.
Now, they're also talking about possible invasion angles with ROH and TNA.
Yeah, that's a lot of dirt sheet stuff.
It is a lot of dirt sheet, but I did reach out to 2 or 3 people who did confirm to me that there is a possibility that they are underlying works. Since they're going to be working under that umbrella of Destination America, there may be. I'm going to say it right now. It's going to happen. Listen to what I'm saying. It's going to happen. It's not going to be anything super major. I don't know if we're going to have the world champion, their world champion versus our world champion. But I think it'll be interesting to see. Let's see, like an Elgin versus Bobby Roode. You know what I'm saying? Canada versus Canada. 2 great in-ring workers going at it. I think that's a distinct possibility. Or maybe their television champion versus TNA's X Division champion. hey, dude, anything is possible. Right now, wrestling is at a point where it's so interesting to see what's going on now. Now, for the people that wish for the demise of TNA, I'm going to break away from the devil's advocate, and I'm going to say that, you know, this is good as a wrestling fan. I think any wrestling fan will be excited to like you said, it's going to be a more interesting 3-hour block of wrestling, because you're going to have that product in ROH, which is an exciting 1 hour, and then you're going to move into TNA wrestling. And with Billy Corrigan now taking the head position as developing characters, so on and so forth, Andre, and I know you're going to talk about that a little bit. I think it's going to be a more exciting, a more interesting show. And you will see the difference in production, even though TNA is not a WWE, but there is a huge gap in production value between Ring of Honor and TNA. Now, my last question to you before you move on to what you're going to say about Billy Corrigan is, do you think Destination America would finance a better product? In other words, help Ring of Honor become a more TV-friendly show?
Well, I'm not too sure the plethora or amount of fans that are aware of Ring of Honor coming to Destination America know that these Ring of Honor episodes are already taped from quite a while back, and it isn't anything new. And on the flip side, when you look at the current situation and state of Impact Wrestling's product preparation within how many episodes that they currently already have in the bag taped, both Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling that will be seen on Wednesday nights will already be taped and recorded. Now, we have Slammiversary coming up that will be live on pay-per-view, and that might put a little bit of confusion within the fans of Impact Wrestling, or even casual fans for that matter, because of how far taped they are ahead already, and this Slammiversary event being a live pay-per-view event. So it could confuse some fans, but I still think it'll be good come Slammiversary. Now, the point that I wanted to make, Ray, is another report pertaining and relating to advertising space available, or the lack of want to advertise during professional wrestling for big corporations on television. Now, if this was an actual issue on Destination America wrestling fans during Impact Wrestling, now, does it make any sense to add another wrestling product, a 1-hour wrestling show alongside Impact Wrestling with Ring of Honor? Now, if this supposed advertising story reported was true, they wouldn't be adding more in that wrestling block if the advertising was impossible to get during those blocks. So again, someone else, I'm not going to drop names, and we know who it is. Well, I may drop names.
Might as well. It doesn't matter. Drop names.
Billy Corrigan and Dave Meltzer have been heating it up on Twitter, and it's got a little heated up now. Billy and Dave Meltzer momentarily made peace amidst the tidal wave and media buzz over the last week around Meltzer's half-truth reports pertaining and relating to Total Nonstop Action Wrestling. But this peace didn't last, as both ended up going back and forth until Corrigan ultimately laid the last comment telling Meltzer that in the future, direct message me before inventing motives and creating convenient narratives, because even you can be worked, Dave. And that was straight out of the mouth of the head of the creative direction within Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, none other than Smashing Pumpkins member Billy Corrigan. So a lot of holes in all of these reports Mr. Meltzer has presented, but there are some half-truths. And you go over to what Vince Russo recently said, and he hit the hammer right on the nail head. A lot of these reports are just based around half-truths.
Yeah, but
they take one little portion of the truth, and they build a cocoon around it. And that's what sets OneWrestling.com apart from the dirt sheets and a lot of other sites, is we don't roll like that until something's official, credible, and finalized. Go ahead.
I'm going to interrupt you in saying that I don't agree with calling Dave Meltzer a dirt sheet guy. I think when you go to those smaller websites, those NoDQ.coms
they're cut, copying, and pasting Dave Meltzer's report.
Right. So Dave
he's actually at the top of the dirt sheets.
I wouldn't say he's a dirt sheet. I would call him more of an insider because he does have inside knowledge on a lot of, and I'm not.
So does a lot of these other dirt sheets, right?
Yeah, but I mean to call him.
But if we're in Egypt, Dave Meltzer is in the central pyramid of everything trickling down initially. A lot of these reporters are just copying and pasting Dave Meltzer's notes, reports, or taking a cut, copy, paste version and versing through it, adding their own language arts skills within those storylines. And hey, that's how legend happens. You know, somebody walks along the edge of the beach, and then the next thing you know, 100 years later, they were walking on water.
Yeah, well, listen, all I have to say is that, you know, I mean, I'm not defending, and again, I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm not defending.
Not bashing Dave either now.
Right. But that's what. All I'm saying is that a lot of the stuff that he says, I would say he's about 85 to 90% right. Eventually.
You're way too high on that percent.
Oh, I don't know about that, my friend.
It might be 60%, Ray.
You think?
Yeah. It might be realistically 60%.
Okay. Well, I think it's a little higher than that, Andre, to be honest with you. But listen, it is what it is. I mean, he does what we do. We report wrestling. You know, he has his sources.
Yeah, he somewhat does what we do. We don't report until it's finalized. That's the difference. And I'm not knocking Dave for that, but that's the guidelines. That's the criteria here at OneWrestling.com. We will not report it until it's finalized. And there is a difference. There is a difference, right? And like I said, I'm not bashing Dave for what he does. He's very integral within the wrestling community, and it is what it is. But that's the difference.
All right. Well, listen. Why don't we move on from that? Because, you know, right now at this point in juncture, there's a lot. It's mostly a lot of it's speculation, but I will say this, and I want to wrap this up and tie it in a neat bow. And like I said before, to be a wrestling fan right now with Global Force Wrestling, with TNA, with Ring of Honor, with WWE, it's a good time, I feel, to be a wrestling fan because now we have more of an option when it comes to our wrestling viewing. And if it is true that what Dave Meltzer is saying about TNA, because a lot of people believe that TNA is going under. I don't believe it is. They've been saying it for 13 years. And
Bob Ryder said, right?
Right. They've been saying it for 13 years, and I'll believe it when I see it. So for now, I'll just enjoy what they have. And you know, again, you know, the TNA. You're gonna get into this a little later, but they've signed a couple of talents, and they're talking to some other talents. But why don't we move on to one of the talents that actually has departed from TNA. Right. Go ahead, Andre. Jump into it.
That's right. Christy Hemme departed from TNA due to a lucrative job that was offered to her elsewhere. So I personally think that she'll be successful wherever she goes because she is a smart, beautiful, innovative woman. Now, speaking of another smart, beautiful, and innovative woman, I personally think that SoCal Val is the natural transitional choice as one, ring announcer, and two, possibly a viable woman to take on Christy Hemme's small creative role that Christy indeed had within the creative aspect of the Knockouts division. Now, I don't necessarily think that all of Christy Hemme's creative ideas that were implemented within TNA Wrestling were home run hitters, and I know Ray's going to agree with me here. The Menagerie was not a good creation, nor a good idea, and you can see little creative similarities and comparable comparisons within the Dollhouse. Now, thank God Billy Corgan, and this was indeed implemented by him, as he instantaneously changed the Dollhouse's entrance music, which was techno music, to that very creepy...
Right.
What's her name? Kurt Cobain's ex-wife there.
Love. What's her name? Something Love.
Courtney Love. Courtney Love. Right. So Courtney Love now is the person whose entrance music the Dollhouse now uses, and It's important. It's a good idea. Little nuances that make even casual wrestling fans understand. Because you listen to that entrance music, if you're tuning in for the very first time and not knowing who the hell the Dollhouse is, you hear that music, you see them come down the ramp, and you get it.
Yeah.
Okay, these girls are like this. They're psychotic. They're evil, and they're sassy. And that's just from the in-ring entrance and the entrance music. So these are just confirmations that Billy Corgan, he gets it.
I agree. Billy Corgan. No, I was gonna say Billy Corgan. You know, people say what you want to say. Billy Corgan is gonna make a major impact, pun intended, on this product. And you know, it's not easy, Andre, with this little spark plug here.
It's not easy being breezy.
All right, get out of here. Go. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Anyway, but I think Billy Corgan, he's such a character. He's just like Daddy. Look at this. He doesn't stop. Andre, he doesn't stop. He's just full of energy. I wish I had a quarter of his energy.
So innocent.
He is innocent. You know, this kid, he is 4'4", and he's only 6 years old. You think he's gonna be bigger than Daddy? You gonna be bigger than Daddy?
I think so.
I think so too. All right, go ahead. Sit over there, Aiden. Watch your
And
SpongeBob.
you know what? He looked at you, and you could tell that he believed himself when he told you.
High five.
I think so.
All right, get out of here. All right, so anyway.
But before we jump in anywhere else, I personally think SoCal Val is a natural transition for ring announcer, and that Christy Hemme spot in the creative role that Christy had. Now, regardless, we at One Wrestling absolutely wish the lovely, beautiful Christy Hemme all the best in this future endeavor, and thank you for all of your contributions to the wrestling business, WWE, and Total Nonstop Action Wrestling.
Oh yeah, Christy Hemme, she's very good, and she was learning a lot about the business backstage, helping booking, so on and so forth. Christy Hemme became one hell of a ring announcer. You know, she was great. She was really good at what she did, and she will be missed. Eventually, I think she maybe we'll see her down the line again, maybe once in a while, but maybe here and there. But for now,
keep in mind she's a relatively new mother too,
right,
so you factor that in. She's put her time in, so I don't think anybody can really say much negative pertaining to her.
No, so congratulations to Christy Hemme, and the best of luck from Big Ray and Andre Corbeil.
And one good-looking redhead.
Actually, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And keeping it on the redhead topic, I just think that if SoCal Val came in and took over this spot, it most importantly would eliminate any transitional period. She could come in and do the ring announcing, already knows the roster and all of the information, and trust me, wrestling fans, ring announcing isn't easy. Because you remember where they come from, their little tagline, their names and everything, and you work on announcing style, on announcing them, but you factor in that booking changes, like one match can be a hardcore match. The next match could be 2 out of 3 falls. So it's hard to stay sharp and on point. So yeah, I just think it would totally eliminate any transitional period, and we've been watching SoCal Val for years. We know that she's very smart.
Oh yeah.
Just like Christy Hemme is. She's very energetic and beautiful.
Absolutely.
And diverse. So I think she should be and could be the natural selection, speculatory wise.
All right, so why don't we move on to some TNA signings? And also TNA has been in talks with...
actually, that looks more like the Ultimate Warrior with short hair.
A little bit. The TNA has been in talks, apparently, and I don't know too much of it. I'm just going to throw it out there because it was out there, with Shelton Benjamin, who's one of my favorite in-ring workers. I thought he was actually really, really good. I thought they would give him that world title push back in the WWE eventually, but that never happened. So I don't know what happened there. But Shelton Benjamin...
Apparently he has been known. I'm not stating that this is a fact that that's the way Shelton is, but sometimes he's hard to coach. He's known to have sometimes traces of an attitude. Now he's been over in Japan for a long time, so
I'm sure they taught him to have a positive attitude over there, if you know what I mean.
Bingo.
Right? Yeah. No. You know what? They don't play over there. But why don't you give us a quick rundown on who TNA signed, and we'll close the show out with our last segment.
My little cheesy Ultimate Warrior looking impression there was my Bram impression. And got the Wolves here who also signed. So Bram and the Wolves signed, all three extending their existing short-term TNA contracts that were already in place, wrestling fans. And speaking of signings, there has been a lot of rampant rumors on WWE's possible interest in signing our friend, the Chosen One. And yeah, the rumors have been rampant, wrestling fans. Now, they're going to have all three brands touring in 2016, the WWE I'm talking about. So don't be surprised, wrestling fans, if you see a little bit more activity than usual from World Wrestling Entertainment as they scour and handpick a lot of the independent scene. And they're trying to do that and sending the feelers out there to try and sign our friend to tour within one of those three promotions under the WWE umbrella. But I personally, wrestling fans, as a reporter and a friend of AJ, don't think that he'll bite the hook anytime soon, because he's told us both so, wrestling fans, that he's happier now than he's been in years and absolutely loves the spot he's in right now in New Japan Wrestling. And I'm gonna close out this statement as not now, but never say never, wrestling fans.
Never say never when it comes to wrestling.
Knowing AJ Styles and conversating and interacting with him, there's no way he's going to be willing to give up his spot right now to come into NXT and the WWE's uncertain waters for the former TNA Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, Triple Crown winner, Grand Slam champion, and current IWGP two-time World Heavyweight Champion AJ Styles, who's touring all over the place defending that title, making a ton of money, ultimately in control of his destiny, his own destiny, as the champion. So I just don't think WWE sending the feelers out at this time is the right time at all, because they dropped the ball when they indeed had the opportunity, when AJ Styles was the hottest free agent in the wrestling world. So maybe sometime down the line, I'll never say never, but definitely and positively, I'll say not now.
I'm gonna close with this, and again, this being our last segment. Using Samoa Joe as an example in NXT, I think WWE is looking for veteran talent with name power to come into NXT and help bolster that I guess company. No, not company. That what do you call it?
The uprising talent.
Yeah, the NXT. Helping build their uprising talent and
solidification. Yeah.
Right, and I think AJ Styles would fit great in that environment. You know, he wouldn't have to travel. He wouldn't have to travel as much. And as my son goes by one last time here, he wouldn't travel. He wouldn't have to travel that much. But from what I do know, NXT is going to be on the road now. So that's why
2016 it should be full time, guys.
Right. That's why I think that they got guys like Samoa Joe, and that's why I think they got guys like Samoa Joe, AJ Styles. They're looking for guys like Rhino. You know, guys that they can plug in, guys that they can develop. That can help them develop their young talent, but at the same time, you know, put forth great matches, and also, you know, we can have Sami Zayn versus AJ Styles, or Generico versus AJ Styles, or we can have a Samoa Joe versus a Kevin Owens, and I think it'll be fun. I'm interested to see what WWE is going to do in the future, and if AJ Styles does bite, which you know, like you said, never say never. Never say never, especially in professional wrestling, dude. I would love to see it at least once. You know, it was like Sting. You know, I mean, I wasn't happy with what they did, but it was cool to see Sting that one time in the WWE ring. Andre?
But you and I are both enough in the loop within the IWGP World Heavyweight Champions circles to know that the timing just definitely isn't right now. So don't expect it to happen, wrestling fans. Again, I said never say never, but don't expect AJ to give up the current position that he has currently right now and ultimately has worked so hard throughout his career to be at. Don't expect AJ Styles, if he was to sign within WWE, to become the World Heavyweight Champion on his debut like he did for New Japan Pro Wrestling. So again, it just lets fans know exactly what type of spot and role AJ Styles is in currently right now, and it's a very prominent spot that he's not going to give up at this current time. Yeah, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
This is my tell Aiden to not make
Damn,
noise.
I missed doing the show, brother. I missed.
It's good times, dude. Listen,
We hope you fans missed us in this hibernation period of the Can-Am Wrestling Show.
Listen, man, I got my son over here making a lot of noise. He's about to fall asleep, and I have Andre Corbeil over here. Guys, it's been really great doing this show again. Again, guys, we gave our WWE predictions. We gave you some TNA news, ROH news. That's what we do here, ladies and gentlemen. Andre, why don't you take us home the way you do?
We're knowledgeable, passionate OneWrestling.com reporters. That's Bill Apter at Apter1Wrestling, Andre Corbeil at Andre_Corbeil, Big Ray at Big Ray's Wrestling Show, or sometimes I say that, Big Ray's Show, Bill Schuyler at You Got the Show, and Billy Ray Valentine at Billy Ray Hustle, and all of us at OneWrestling.com, One Wrestling on Twitter, One Wrestling Video on YouTube, Andre Corbeil on YouTube, and Big Ray's Wrestling Show. That's where the wrestling comes in at YouTube. So you can check various videos from Big Ray, and he has a little different style. You can see him doing the reba and a little bit of karaoke. And yeah, go check out and subscribe to Big Ray's personal YouTube channel and my personal YouTube channel at Andre Corbeil. Thanks for tuning in, wrestling fans. We're knowledgeable, passionate wrestling reporters. We know each and every one of you guys tuning in and supporting this One Wrestling Network and the Can-Am Wrestling Show are knowledgeable, passionate wrestling fans too. So thanks for tuning in. And as I always cap out and end off, we're all in this for one thing. Wrestling.
And Andre, I always say this every single show. I would do this for a living, but if I can, I would do it anyway. Why? Because I love talking wrestling, and Aiden James is becoming delirious. He's about to fall asleep. Ladies and gentlemen, in the words, he's giggling. I don't know if you can hear him giggling in the background.
In the words of Hulk Hogan, what you gonna do?
Come here, Aiden.
Wrestling show.
Come here,
drops a big old leg drop on you.
Aiden, I want you to point at the camera, Aiden, and say, "We'll see you at the matches." Say,
We'll see you at the
"At the matches." Oh, we're out. Goodbye.